Okay, we're going to have a revise of angles and polygons. So polygons are shapes basically. So if you have a shape that you know, if you have a square, I know these are not perfectly drawn, but imagine this is a square. Then you know that these angles in the corner are all 90 degrees, okay? So the total of the interior angles equals 360, okay? So what we can do for any polygon is we can work out how much the interior angles add up to, and it's the total of the interior. So if I draw a pentagon, and you should remember that a pentagon has 5 sides, okay? What I'm going to do with the pentagon is I'm going to split it up into triangles, like that. So one fact that you do know is a triangle adds up to 180 degrees. And a pentagon has 3 triangles covering the corners. So the total for a pentagon is 3 times 180, which is 540 degrees. Okay. If you had a hexagon, six sides, we're going to do the same again. We're going to split it into triangles. Now this time, because you have the extra side, you have another triangle. 1, 2, 4 triangles. So the total for a hexagon is 4 times 180, which equals, I'm just going to check that, 4 times 180 is 720 degrees. So that's the total, but what you can be asked to do is talk about what's called a regular shape. A regular shape is like a square, that in that it has equal sides and also equal angles. So look at your pentagon. We find out that the pentagon adds up to 540, and you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 interior angles. So for a regular pentagon, each corner, one of these, is 540 divided by 5, because they have to be equal, because it is called regular. And you could do the same for a regular anything. We'll do the hexagon because we already know the answer for a hexagon. So we know the hexagon adds up to 720, and you know that because it's 6 sides, there are 6 corners, 6 angles. So each one in a regular, must be regular for to do this, each corner is 720 divided by 6, which is 120 degrees. So I'm just going to go over a couple of things that we looked at there. So if you're doing interior angles, right, to find the total, you're basically looking for the number of triangles. The number of triangles is the number of sides subtract 2. That tells you how many triangles you get, and you multiply that by 180, okay? To get one interior angle for a regular shape, you take the total and divide by the number of sides. Okay, so that's one thing that you need to know. You know about these interior angles, and if you have the total and say you had an irregular shape, what's this going to be? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So just check that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This shape has 6 sides. So it is a hexagon. It is not a regular hexagon. Clearly nothing is equal in that shape. However, the total of the angles must be 720 because it is a hexagon. I am going to put in some angles and then we are going to find the missing ones. So I'm going to say this is 105, this is 41, this is 80, we'll say this is, looks like 90, we'll say this is 86, and we want to know what is this angle here that is left. So you take your calculator, you start with your 720, can't see what I'm doing, sorry, 720, and we're going to take away all the other numbers. So we take away the 80, we take away the 41, we take away the 105, we take away the 86, we take away the 90, and we are left with too much. Okay. Oh, well, it could be that much. What is that? 318. It could be 318. Could be 318 because look at it. It's huge, big reflex angle. It's almost a full turn. So the missing angle in this hexagon is 318. And you can do that for any shape, okay? The other thing that we will have to talk about with polygons are these things called exterior angles. Okay. Start with a pentagon because it's kind of easy to draw. We already know about these interior angles, but at each corner we can add on an extra angle. And these extra angles that I'm drawing here are called exterior angles. And there's two things you need to know about them. First of all, the interior and the exterior at each corner makes a straight line. So it adds up to 180. You can see it makes a straight line each time. The other thing is for any shape, the total of the exterior is always 360 degrees. And this little fact here is really, really important. This fact helps you work out number of sides and exterior angles. And once you know the exterior, you can find the interior for lots and lots of questions. So let's see how we would use it. So if we wanted to know the number of sides of a polygon, we would take 360 and we would divide it by the exterior angle. And that will give you the number of sides, because if you think about your square has an exterior angle of 90 degrees. 90 into 360 goes 4 times. Okay? If you think about your pentagon, the exterior angle of a pentagon is 60 degrees because you take away 120. So 360 for a pentagon divided by 120, but divided by 60 gives you, excuse me, that was a hexagon, the exterior is 60, so 60 and 360 goes 60. We'll do some examples, I think would be better than me just talking. So if we have hexagon, first of all, the exterior angle equals 60, okay, on a regular shape, because it's 120 away from 180. So the number of sides equals 360 divided by 60 equals 6. Now we knew it was going to be 6 because we knew it was a hexagon, but we do this when we don't know what the shape is. So we'll do an example where we don't know what the shape. Say I told you the exterior angle was 45, okay? So you want the number of sides, so the number of sides equals 360 divided by 45 Let's see what that is. 360 divided by 45 equals, equals, can't see that very clearly, sorry, 8. This must be an 8-sided shape, and we call that an octagon. Now, we can use this formula the other way around. We can work out the exterior angle by saying 360 divided by the number of sides. And once you know the exterior angle, then you can find the interior angle, and then you can find the total of the interior angles. Okay, so for example, if I said, what is total of interior angles of a 10-sided shape? You now have another way of finding that answer. You could say, well, the exterior angle equals 360 divided by 10 equals 36. So the interior is 180, take away 36, which is 144. Now, you know that it's 10-sided shape, so you say it has 10 angles. The total is 10 times 144 equals 1440. So you have two ways of getting the total of the interior angles now. But this is really, really useful, and mostly this number of sides one is used quite a lot in questions. Okay. The last kind of question that can come up sometimes is if they give you a diagram like this hexagon here, and they have divided the inside into triangles. Okay, what you've got to remember in these kind of questions is how many degrees around a point. There are 360 degrees around a point. And also, all of these little triangles are isosceles triangles because these sides are equal. And what you have to remember about isosceles triangles is that the two bottom angles will be the same, and that will help you work out some questions. So if they said, find this angle down here, right? First of all, you look at the center point. So you know that's 360. How many angles are at the center? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we'll do that first. 360 divided by 6 is 60 degrees. So we'll take that triangle and draw it by itself. We know that that is 60. And we know these two angles at the bottom are the same because this is isosceles. So what's triangle add up to? 180. Take away the 60, leaves 120. Divide it in 2 because you've got two angles. And it turns out for a hexagon, these are also 60. Now that is a special case. I probably shouldn't have done a hexagon. But anyway, that is how you do those type of questions. Seen questions sometimes a little bit like this, where you might have a triangle drawn. Okay, now that's pentagon. So you should be able to work out that angle from your rules. And then you would remember that this is an isosceles triangle. And you might be asked to find that angle there. We'll call it Y. So let's do that. So for a pentagon, how do you find an interior angle? Well, remember that a pentagon will have 5 triangles. So it's 5 times 180, it's 540 degrees, and each, that's all the corners. Divide that by 5 is 108 degrees. So this angle here that I've shaded in is 108. Draw your triangle out by itself. Remember I told you these are isosceles, so this one and this one are the same. So your triangle's 180, take away your 108, leaves 72. Divide that in half because you have two of these. Each angle is 36, y equals 36. Okay, I've attached some questions. It was quite a long video, but try to look through it because there's quite a lot of stuff on angles and polygons, and try and give the questions a little go.